Hi there, Rabbi. It's time for yet another in our series on how to make America good again. Not great, but good. And this week we're going to talk about justice based on giving, which, if I remember my Hebrew correctly, is called tzedakah.
Yes, it is.
And I remember the moment that concept was brought home to me was many years ago when my parents were still alive. And I was married to my wife, who is not Catholic. But my mother wanted for Christmas, she said, I want you to come to Mass on Christmas Sunday, on Christmas Day with me. And I said, okay, honey, we got to go to church on Christmas. And we were driving from Virginia to Maryland to go to church. And on the way, we passed a car full of people. And I'm not exaggerating when I said they had a paper street map. This is how long ago it was, unfolded across the entire windshield. And they were going like this. And so we're driving. We didn't stop the car. And I pulled up next to them. And my wife rolled down the window. And I said, are you lost? And they yelled in a very heavy accent, White House. And so where we were, there was no way to direct them. So I just said, follow me. So I took them, I led them through Northeast West Washington. In those days, you could actually drive up in front of the White House,
Yeah.
and they pulled in behind us, and he jumped out of the car. He came over and he said, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. And I said, you're welcome. We were very happy. We had big smiles on our faces. They were out taking pictures in front of the White House. I didn't get to church in time. And my mother was looking at me. And I told her the story. And she said, I'm glad you did that. And I had to go to church with her the next day.
That's a perfect example of taking our beliefs and putting them into practice. And I'm here to prove Hamlet's wrong. Hamlet said, more honored in the breach than in the observance. And when we look at the paper, when we listen to our politicians, over and over again, they claim to be Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Jewish. They claim it. They do the rituals. And yet, when we look at their everyday practice, they're not practicing any of the teachings. That just proved Hamlet right. I want to prove Hamlet wrong. Now, you mentioned in Judaism, the word is tzedakah. It means your actions reflect justice. It's not just a matter of giving someone money or giving someone something. It means, how do I keep them from falling back into or sliding back into the previous state? Christianity emphasizes social justice. Look at what Jesus taught. A wealthy person has as much chance of getting into heaven as the camel has of riding through the eye of a needle. It wasn't wealth that Jesus was complaining about. He was pointing out that they weren't using their wealth to help people, to do something with it. And that's the idea of charity. Zakat in Islam, obligatory charity. And in the Arabic, tzedakah, it's the same idea. We want to help people. Hinduism, identical. Reduce suffering. And here are a couple of quotes for you. Deuteronomy. If there is a poor person among you, open your hand. And more important than that is Leviticus. You're to leave the corners of the field for the poor and the stranger. Fruit that falls to the ground, don't pick it up. Leviticus wanted to create a way for those who were hungry to have a little dignity. They knew that they could go into a field and they could go to the corners and it was okay. They knew they could go through a field, not picking the fruit off the tree, but whatever fell to the ground. Whatever you missed is what would be okay. Tzedakah is equivalent to all the commandments. And of course, the epistle, the writings of James, St. James, over and over again, he says, faith without works is dead. Let me emphasize, James recognized very early on that just fulfilling ritual, that just for worshiping without action wasn't going to get you into heaven. In Corinthians, your abundance should supply the needs of others. Giving alone doesn't count in Christianity or Judaism. You have to share your wealth. You have to help someone get a job and not make them get a job, not require. In fact, the highest form of giving in all our Abrahamic religions is giving anonymously that helps that person get some dignity and get a job. The sin is not money or being wealthy. It's love of wealth, love of money. It's acquiring it. It's amassing it and not sharing it with those in need. The Buddha linked the same as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's not just a matter of giving to someone or a handout. It's helping them so that they're no longer on a street corner, so that they're no longer where they are. And this moves us into Hinduism. And I keep repeating the same thing. The gift of food is the highest gift of all. It purifies. Give with your faith. It supports your belief. Our three Abrahamic religions and Hinduism and Buddhism say the same thing. Just to follow ritual is not what's being asked of us. We do our ritual, we have faith, and then we give and we support. And the highest form is providing for those in need so that they no longer will be in need.
I know what I'm not going to stop needing, and that's your good advice, Rabbi. Thanks as always.
And I leave our viewers and listeners again. It's appropriate to give people food for money to help them. However, our goal is to create an environment or a setting where they no longer have to beg or go hungry, and they can earn a living with dignity.